Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Shake and Bake. We just had an ADP data come out 6 minutes ago. Hey, Greg. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, thank you for hitting the like button. Tess, I love that you know basketball. Yes, we did not step up like we normally do, LSU women's basketball, but we played a really good team, and congrats to UCLA, their first time in the Final Four. I love basketball. I don't know if y'all knew that. I love basketball. So we have time for some chart requests. Put them in chat and we will take a look. I'm just scanning charts, seeing if I missed anything. Baba, oh man, Baba has an hourly squeeze. I already know because I was looking at it earlier. Look at that squeeze developing. Baba looks better than most. We're in a daily downtrend, but we're looking for a weekly higher low on Baba. And this has been sell the news with tariffs. You know, at this point, the tariffs are done today. We're having the Trump speech at 4 p.m. Eastern on tariffs. Is it time for Baba or the non-U.S. names to get a bounce? And last night, Hang Seng was only down 0.02%. So Asia markets were not terrible last night. This one looked pretty good. This was one of my honorable mentions that I didn't put in Queen of the Mountain, but I don't dislike it. Looking for that weekly higher low. 4 hour. I mean, I almost called it an inverse head and shoulders. It's just too wonky. We have a 4 hour squeeze, an hourly squeeze. Yesterday's low, 131.53. I think it would be worth a bottom fish against that success. I like it long. We are in a daily downtrend. We have the daily 12 EMA overhead, and we're holding the daily 50 RSI. When you get these tiny daily bear breaks without a lot of follow through, it's more bullish than bearish and gives more validity to a potential monthly bull flag. So I knew it as soon as you said Baba, I knew why I liked it earlier. Yeah, Tesla's supposed to have delivery data today. Let's see. This is from our chat room. We had ADP payrolls at 8:15. At 9 a.m., Tesla's supposed to announce Q1 deliveries, and 4 p.m. is the tariff event. So 9 a.m. Tesla Q1 deliveries. So Tesla on the weekly, this could still be a bear flag. We're underneath the weekly 50 MA. We got a big upper wick on last week's candle. This isn't a good look on the weekly. On the daily, we set the higher low. Now, do we get a lower high? Let's see. Let's pull those fibs. We retraced about 70% of that move. So a daily lower high is the more likely scenario on Tesla, and it's pulling back a lot. We're $2 away from yesterday's low. On a bounce, I'd be looking for a Tesla short. We've made enough room now for bears to scout the hourly lower high on Tesla. But we do have those delivery numbers, and that is a binary event. Good morning, Jody. RGTI has been on my radar, looking at this weekly equilibrium. 703 is support. We continue to break these tiny little supports. 753 was a support. We broke it by 2 pennies yesterday. I'm looking for that weekly higher low on RGTI. We're in a daily downtrend. We're in a 4 hour downtrend. There's just no bull momentum. What was I looking at earlier? It was right by spot. Yeah, I didn't like Reddit. Reddit has the daily 200 MA overhead. but it has enough room for a 4-hour higher low, so I didn't put that one on the list. I'm not against that success. I like that Snow is holding the daily 200 MA. We did get a bear break, but this, I just can't do anything with this pattern. I like Snow with the options. When they get going, they tend to really get going. Well, yeah, this just looks like a 12-hour bear flag on Snow. I was looking for names for potential longs. All I was finding was shorts this morning. So Snow has an interesting trend line. NMAX is a new IPO with a big ask spread. Bid-ask spread. Bid. I didn't curse. So NMAX is a new IPO. It debuted Monday. We're looking for an hourly higher low. We're looking for a 4-hour higher low. We have a 15-minute slight uptrend. It's not a good look. 158 support, 151.10 resistance, 199 and 216.80. An hourly lower high is the more likely scenario. These shorts, if you can get them, are super expensive. I'd feel more comfortable shorting this. You just have to be super careful. It went up 179% yesterday. This is one of those names, if you're trading it, you should be a specialist in IPOs without a lot of price discovery. You don't have short data. You just don't have a lot of data, and it's very whippy. You should be an expert and a black belt ninja in new IPOs if you're trading this. I'm not. I'm not a black belt in new IPOs. It is not my forte, and I don't like it, especially with this. Now, CRWV, I like. This is a little bit more contained. It has good volume. The bid-ask spread is decent. It traded 38 million shares. By the way, this CoreWeave is the largest tech IPO we've had this year. It is backed by NVIDIA. The price was $40 initially for the, well, actually initially it was like over $50, and then they lowered it to $40. So yesterday and Tuesday were actually good dip buying opportunities below the IPO offering. This is the biggest tech IPO we've had this year. I like CoreWeave, and I can trade that, no problem. NMAX, that's just too many variables that are outside my control with this bid-ask spread. I just don't want to get involved. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. I will look at MSTR and IBB. Y'all want to get this show started? Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I am part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to join our community, you can check us out at chartguys.com. We have live shows every day where we walk you through the market and our live trades as we take them, if we take them. What I do here on Wednesday is I get you ready for the trading day. I go through about 25 charts in 25 minutes. This is my market environment dossier table. I just needed an acronym that made sense. Med table made sense. So we're at 138 in the bear column when I look at the key components and correlations variables for the market. And when it's over 100 in either column, it's a more of a statement. And right now the bears are making a statement. But we have a big question mark in the market with the tariff news pending. It's been selling off, selling off, selling off. Is it time to buy the dip on tariff news? We have enough room for 4-hour higher lows on a lot of names. Can they get the 4-hour trend changes? So we had ADP data. This morning we have oil inventory. Trump speaks at 4 p.m. today. Oh, and give me a follow on X, Chart Gal Lori. That would be much appreciated. All right, let's go do our favorite thing and look at charts. All right, looking at ES. ES, we're breaking down. Our 4-hour support is 5,600. That's easy to remember. We have enough room for a potential 4-hour higher low. We have at this point, I'd call this a 4-hour uptrend. We're at risk of losing it. On the daily, we bounced about 50% of the high of March 25th to the low of Monday. So we've made enough room for a daily higher low. Can we get it and get an equilibrium is the question. So on ES, we've bounced enough for a daily higher low. On NQ, we bounced about 45%. So not necessarily enough room for a daily higher low as far as the odds being in our favor. 4-hour support 19261. And I just want to point out to you here on NQ, you'll see a lot of people talk about the death cross. That's when the 50, that's the yellow line, simple moving average crosses over the simple 200 MA. 50 crossing over 200. NQ, it is approaching. We haven't crossed yet bearishly. And ES, we're approaching. The 50 and 200, we're approaching. If you go look at names that got the death cross already, look at SMH, look at that follow through to the downside. Look at NVIDIA, it got the death cross. And look at that follow through to the downside. I'm not saying these things can't be overcome, and I don't take shorts based on the 50 crossing over the 200, but if you within into itself as an indicator. But if you go back and look at when that's happened, last time was March of 2022 in this area, and look at the downside follow through that we got. So with ES and NQ, I'm monitoring that closely. Looking at the Russell is weak this morning. We have a daily inside bar. We are getting close. We are testing yesterday's low, 1997, and we have an hourly squeeze on the Russell. Now, squeezes are not a bullish indicator. It is just an indicator saying volatility is incoming, and right now this is to the downside. This favors the bears. On a bounce of the 4 indices, I would be looking to short the Russell. Dow looks weak. On a bounce, we'll be looking for an hourly low or high. The question on all of these is, can we get 4-hour trend changes? Can we get the 4-hour higher low, higher high, 4-hour trend changes? That's what we want to see if you're a bull. SMH, this looks like a 12-hour potential bear flag. We're about $1.77 away from yesterday's low. This is not a good look. We have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. This is what bulls want to see. We want the 4-hour trend changes. Do we sell off into the 4 p.m. event today and then reverse? Possibly. It's all about Monday's low holding. VIX has some giddy up in its step. We just got a 4-hour higher high. We are positioned for a potential daily trend change on the VIX if we get over 2480. I want to set my alert for that. VIX can give us good clues when we're at key supports and resistances. Well, nice to see you again, Wonka. Thanks, 99 Slacker. All right, so Hang Seng was flat overnight. DAX is down pretty big right now, 1.61%. Bitcoin isn't falling over. I like to look at Bitcoin as a potential canary. It is not falling over yet. We have enough room for an hourly higher low on Bitcoin. A daily lower high is the more likely scenario on Bitcoin. We have a 4-hour uptrend. Let's see what bulls can do. Can we get an hourly higher low and a trend change? Ethereum is weaker. We had a big bounce on Ethereum yesterday. We're still looking for a daily lower high. And on a bounce, we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. Dollar, we're below the 4-hour EMAs. We're in an hourly downtrend. Daily lower high, not confirmed. Well, we do have, not confirmed yet. So the dollar is weak. Gold has taken advantage of this weakness again. We've been getting new all-time highs. This is a potential daily bull flag on gold. Remember, RSI doesn't mean as much. We're in blue sky breakout. This is a blue sky breakout on gold. And this is the type of consolidation that you want to see. Bear breaks not getting a ton of follow through. So gold looking good. Oil looking weak overnight. We're looking for a weekly lower high on oil, but don't get it twisted. I love this monthly chart. I just don't like where it is right now. Looking for the weekly lower high. 4-hour got overbought, and now we're pulling back. On a bounce, a 4-hour lower high is more likely compared to 72.10. We have oil inventory today. All right, nat gas, this looks like a potential 4-hour bear flag. Bears will be looking for a 4-hour lower high. Apple, we have a daily inside bar. If you're part of TCG, I went over yesterday morning before market open why I thought we would have a daily inside bar. On Monday, we had a $9 range. We had a big move into the end of day. When you have a $9 range and the average true range, if you look it up on Apple, well, let's look it up together so I can show you. On the daily, it is $6. That's the average true range right down here, $6.03. That's on average how much Apple moves in a day. So on Monday, we moved $9. When you have a name that normally goes $6 and it moves $9, it's 150%. That's 50% more than the average move. So yesterday we stayed inside that range. So today we're coming up on the intraday support of 221.14 and then looking down at the low 218.90. I don't like where Apple is for me as far as a trade. I don't like it. If anything, I would be looking for a bounce to short. Amazon had a great move yesterday. It is weak this morning. We're looking for a 4-hour higher low compared to 187.20. Bulls just have not been able to confirm a daily trend change to get out of this spiral to the downside. It looks weak. Look at these rejections at the hourly 50 MA. Nvidia, again, we have that death cross up here, the 50 cross the 200. We closed yesterday with a daily inside bar on Nvidia. We're approaching yesterday's low. We're coming in hot on Nvidia. We're looking for a monthly higher low on Nvidia, and daily has not gotten oversold yet. And that may be what bears are looking for. Look at this. If we were to get another lower low, this is looking like a falling wedge, actually. But we are not oversold on the daily, looking for the monthly higher low. And that may be what it takes for bulls to find that monthly higher low. Nvidia doesn't look good where it's at. On a bounce, bears will be looking for an hourly lower high. Tesla, we are only $3 above yesterday's low. On a bounce, I'd be looking for a short. We're looking for a daily lower high. Hourly got overbought yesterday. We have delivery numbers this morning. Sorry, I shouldn't say I'm looking short. I would look short because I'm not going to look anything. Deliveries are a binary event, and we don't know what's going to be reported. Tesla looks better than most. On the daily, it looks better than most. We do have a daily higher low. That's what's going for Tesla. But this big pullback bounces are for shorting technically, but we do have the announcement this morning. All right, CRWV, this is the largest tech IPO this year, is backed by NVIDIA. We're looking for a 4-hour higher low. I will be watching this one for volatility and for day trading scalps. 50.20 is your after hours low, and then you're looking at 50 psychological, then 46.72. IPO volatility has been insane. We literally had a name yesterday, WTF. That was the ticker for the new IPO that launched on April Fool's, and it wasn't an April Fool's joke. And it just ran, and it ran hard. These are the type names, and this, I think, is a REIT. You'll have to verify, but I think it's a REIT. Names like this, I don't want to get stuck in. I don't want to get stuck in any name. NMAX was another one, up 179% yesterday. I'm not trading this one. This volatility is crazy. And then the other one, WXM. And this one is breaking yesterday's low. This was a new IPO yesterday. I would not touch this one with a 10-foot pole. All right, Lulu. When we have a name like this that it's getting an earnings move down, if these were 3 gap downs, I would be super excited to buy this gap down this morning, or to be patient, but to wait for a potential bear exhaustion pattern. But we didn't have a gap down here yesterday. We had a gap down here, we had a gap down here, and then we're having a gap down. So 3 of the last 4 days would have been gap downs, but yesterday wasn't. It makes it not ideal. We're looking for a monthly higher low. Daily's oversold. It's not as important oversold when you have, this is news related on earnings. But I am looking for a bear exhaustion play on Lulu, looking for a long. And this, I will have to play this cautiously. And the only reason I'm looking for bear exhaustion is because the technicals match up, looking for that monthly higher low. So we have a support down here, 272.90. 272, I'm going to set an alert for 273. I'll be patient with this idea. I know, right? Success, me too. Okay, UNH. UNH is looking for a weekly low or high. I've been picking on UNH, and I'll be honest, I've been losing. I have been looking for this weekly low or high for a while. 4-hour got overbought, and we still did not top out. Now we have some bearish RSI divergence, where RSI didn't make higher high when price did, and we have a daily double top. I know exactly where I'm wrong. 528.12, 528.17. Looking for a weekly lower high. I like a top fish on UNH. XLV is weak. We have a gap down setting up right now on XLV. This daily head and shoulders is playing out. If we break 142.86 in regular trading hours, it will be a confirmed daily head and shoulders. So that's why I'm picking on UNH, because I'm looking for healthcare names as laggard bears. As a laggard bear play. Walmart, this is a classic potential weekly bear flag. We got a higher high. It had a great day yesterday and the day before. We're looking for a weekly lower high, 4-hour grazed overbought. I'm looking for a bounce short against yesterday's high. Looking for a laggard short. Now, XBI, we're at new 52-week lows in pre-market. I'm looking for a reverse back burner. I want 15-minute overbought conditions for a short. When you have a name that's making just perpetual new 52-week lows, just keep it on reverse back burner watch. We already got the 5-minute overbought here, and it fell apart. There and there. So that's why I'm on the 15-minute. Okay, I said I would look at IBB. New 52-week lows. 123.26 is the line in the sand for bulls here. 123.26 from last April. It is oversold on the daily. A monthly higher low, I'm not counting this pivot here. A monthly higher low is possible compared to 123.26. I'm going to set an alert for 123.30 on that one. Get some water. Okay, MSTR. I like MSTR short. But Bitcoin is holding up better than the indices. And the reason I like MSTR short is this daily 50 MA overhead, looking for a daily lower high. Hourly is not quite overbought yet. almost made it a queen of the mountain, but it's just been holding up better than most, and Bitcoin's holding up better, so I didn't want to go pick on the big bully. We are looking for a daily lower high. And the daily 50 MA is at 310.84. I'm going to set alert for 310.50. I love shorting tests of the daily 50 MA and daily 200 MA. So on MSTR, you have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. This was a nice bounce. You have enough room for a 4-hour higher low. On the hourly, you have an intraday support of 29240. And last time we looked at Bitcoin a few minutes ago, it's holding up better than the indices. Yeah, it's holding up better than the indices. So we'll see what MSTR brings. It just has too many question marks for me. I do like it. If I had to pick a direction, I would pick short, looking for the daily lower high. Well, I want to thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. I know this is super early in the morning, especially you West Coasters. Shout out Tess. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Please stay safe. Use stop losses. And TCGers, I'll see y'all in 12 minutes. All right, y'all have a great day.